Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you. I'll talk about innovation. I made it innovation with many, many ends because I'm trying to be different. And innovation can be in anything, in products, in technology, in marketing, in business, even in the name of the presentation that you are giving. So a few words about myself. I'm Dov Moran. I'm engineer, entrepreneur, Israeli, father to four, person known as the inventor of USB flash drive and a dreamer. Dreaming is very important when we talk about innovation. I'll make the connection soon between innovation and dreaming. What I dreamed, what I invented, the famous product is the USB flash drive that many of you are using. This is the first product actually that we brought to the market back in 2000. This is 12 years ago. If you look at the USB flash drives today, these are a few examples that my assistant found. I'm not responsible for those, but these are great examples that innovation can be as well in design. These are amazing designs. I had no clue when I had this vision of having the USB flash drive that this is what will come out of it. How was it invented? I'll tell you the stories. I'm here to tell you a story. So this is something happened to me back in 1998. I went to a conference in New York. I was supposed to talk about my company then, a public company called M Systems. And I always do it on the flight of 1 o'clock midnight to New York. I'm working on this flight, so I went through my presentation and I redo it. I always go through it and change. And these days, the computers were not locked correctly. So actually, when I thought that I turned off my PC, my notebook, actually, it continued to work. The battery drained. And it was my turn to give my speech. I put my notebooks, I open it. Guess what? Didn't come up, didn't work. And what do? I'm a CEO of a public company. There are 200 people at the audience. I need to speak. And you can't speak on a public company without having a presentation. Because there are numbers. You have to be very accurate. My English these days wasn't so good. It's not great now, but then it was even worse. So I needed a presentation. And someone at the audience, the first time, one of the other speakers said, take my notebook. I said, but how can I take your notebook and put my presentation from my computer into yours? I can't do that. Anyway, finally it was fine, but the feeling is exactly what is defined as cold sweat. I felt the cold sweat running on my body. Finally it was fine, but I finished this event with a conclusion. I'll never go to make a presentation without having a backup on my pocket. Here's my backup here, by the way. Yes. And that's the idea. Most of it came after that. I knew that USB is coming, I knew flash. We dealt with flash memory. We tried to say, okay, let's connect flash to USB. Flash could not be connected to USB, so the idea was, okay, how can we cheat the system? Let's make the flash appear like a hard drive. And actually, the USB flash drive, there is a trick here. It's a memory. It's not hard drive, but it looks to the system exactly like a hard drive. That's the trick behind it, and that's what we have done successfully. Not everything was great. Not everything was fine. The idea looks today great. There are billions of units of those devices, billions of units that were manufactured and sold until today. And but we had very many frustrating moments. We went to Dell. Dell was a great company. I was sure that I will come to Dell. We tell Dell, hey, we have this invention. It's amazing. It's a USB flash drive. You connect it. It functions like a hard. You can put it on your pocket. We came to them. They were very cold, and they said the guy who met me was quite nice to say, listen, maybe it's nice, but we are Dell. We don't deal with innovation. Come to us maybe when the product will be more mature. We came a year after. We sold $6 million in this year. We came with a story, said, we already sold. It's not an idea, it's a real product. He was very nice as well. He said, you know, we are Dell. We don't deal with anything which is a single digit in millions, yes? Come back to us a year after. We came a year after. We already sold $30 million. There were many Chinese companies copying us and doing the same. And then he said, you know, it looks like a real product. Now we have to put a committee to really check whether there is a market. So they put a committee, and it was a great committee, guy from marketing, guy from products, guy from QA, which sat together 3 months and had a document, about 100 pages document, very well written document, with the conclusion that USB flash drive is not a market. It's, you know, it's a phenomena. It's a blip. Why? And they gave a very, very good explanation, because if you need low capacity, there are floppy drives. If you need very high capacity, there are external hard drives. If you need something that you write once, very, very low cost, CD-ROMs, rewritable CD-ROMs. If you want to send something, there are emails. Who needs this device? It's okay, guys, you did something, but this will disappear. This was so convincing that even I almost was convinced. If I would really convinced, I would get out of the market. But we continued, and luckily we did quite well, and actually Dell became a partner. There was the happy moment, and there were many, of course, but probably the one that we got the message we won Dell was one of them, clearly. But a year after I came out with the product, I met somebody in the flight. And he came to me, he shook my hands, he said, thank you very much. I said, what have I done? He said, you invented this device, and that changed my life. It actually enabled me to go home early, to see my kids, to plug it into the computer, continue my work, come back to work, and continue from there. Couldn't do it before, for whatever reasons, and now it's changed my life. And there is no, this sort of messages from people is what really drives you to continue and move forward. And that was the sad moment, not my sad moment, the other guy, but I'll tell you about as well, because there is conclusion here. Something like 3 years after establishing the product, setting the product in the market, I went to see TEAC. TEAC, T-E-A-C, was the king of the floppy drives. Almost every floppy drive in the market was manufactured by TEAC. Many floppy drives, the floppies themselves, the piece of plastic, when I talk with young people, they have no clue what I'm talking about, yes? So those pieces of plastics, round plastics, many of them were made by TEAC. And what happened in the phenomena was the floppies began to disappear from notebooks, and one day they called us, they said, let's meet. We went to a meeting, very nice guy, Tokyo. And he tried to say, let's make a floppy with a USB connector that you can plug it in, or maybe. And we said, okay, we understand why you need a connector, but why do we need the floppy? That's a tough question. So we had a serious discussion and all kinds of ideas, sort of a brainstorm, where his sort of brainstorm is how to put the floppy still in. And finally, end of the day, there was no conclusion, and we just went out. The guy, the CEO of the company, went with me. And there was a moment outside of the company, on the dark, we waited there for a taxi to take me. And he said, and he really was very sad saying that. He said, I'm supposed to hate you. Hate me? What have I done wrong? So I said, why do you need to hate me? He said, because you destroyed my business. You destroyed the business that my founder, 70 years ago, established. And we were in an amazing position. And I was supposed to be the guy who is taking his Mif'al Chaim, his institute, life project, and move on with that, and you killed it. And I said, Mr. Sayoto-san, I apologize. I never had in my intention to really kill your business, but we are in high-tech, we are in technology. And in technology, you need to move forward with the technology. I know that your product is dead. I know that this product will die. If we want to do the new stuff, both of us will be dead in technology. And clearly, all of us will be dead one of the days. Conclusion, you need to move ahead. Don't stick to the historical successes. And any company that made a success and got there, stayed there, continue to just enjoy the success, didn't really made long-term success. I had a similar story with a discount trip. I won't go through it because our time is short and I'm sure that you are hungry. The phenomena that we saw there, we brought a product to the market which was a revolution. There was very interesting situation that I can really analyze and talk about. We came with the concept of a flash, like hard drive within a cell phone. At the time, that this was not possible. When you think about 2000, 2001, you could store in the phone contact list, 200 contact list. You could store 200 names. You could store few pictures, no files, no really mass storage in the phone. We brought the concept of a disk on chip. It's a small component functioning like a hard disk. By the way, this was the great success of the company, much greater than the success of the USB flash drive, but it was less exposed. Phenomena, well, you could see how every company is treating it, from the cellular companies in the market. Samsung, I was meeting with the Samsung CEO, Katie Lee. Katie Lee was hugging me and saying, Dov, I love you. You are my best friend. You are going to sell me many of those, and you're not going to sell none of them to anybody else, right? He was aggressive physically. I still feel his arms around me. LG, come to Korea. We let you go ahead, move with us. HTC was the first company that really put us into their cell phones. Actually, even Apple today, what Apple is using in iPhones is a sort of a disk of our historical disk on chip in one form or another. We went to Nokia, and it was amazing, again, looking backward at how companies treated us. Nokia took us as well to the high-end phone, the Nokia 9000, and then it was successful. They really did the job. And then we were called for a meeting with the head of procurement. And he said, guys, you have a component, it's not so bad, you know, we're using it in the Nokia 9000. We think of using it for other phones, but in order to do that, we want you to actually give your IP to all the rest of the suppliers free and make it a multi-supplier product. I said, hey, wait, how do we make money? I said, I don't know how do you make money, it's your problem, but I'm not going to buy anything from which is a single source. Well, we didn't send it to Nokia, actually. Nokia approach, and this was 8-10 years ago. We are Nokia, guys, we are Nokia. If we want you to give your product, your IP free to others, you'll do it. Why? Because we want so. And see what they are. The most amazing phenomena was with Siemens. Siemens was the number 4 cell phone manufacturer.
I didn't get it. Did you do it?
No, we didn't. We didn't, and we didn't sell to Nokia.
Okay,
but the story is, the ones who didn't use us, where they are today, yes? Okay? And it's a matter of mentality, it's a matter of a culture of a company that really guts. Siemens, very nice company, number 4 in cell phone in the year 2001. We went to them to say, wow, sounds like a great product, okay? But you know what? We already designed our phones for the coming year. So maybe come a year after. We went a year after, and we told them about the product and what we have done, and they said, you know, it's really, really very interesting, but unfortunately, we already finished the design for the coming year, so coming year after. We didn't have to come, they just disappeared. And the conclusion, if you are in technology, you need to adapt new technologies, you need to be strive to be ahead of the rest. Companies who did not do that, and Nokia and Siemens are the examples, are not there. And there is a big but here, and that's a better proposal. Instead of adapting technologies, invent technologies. And here we are talking about innovation, invention. What's required in order to be an inventor? So, okay, I gave you a hint in the beginning. What's required? Sigalit? Dream. You must be a dreamer. Statement from Victor Hugo, this is over 100 years ago. He said, there is nothing like a dream to create a future. And I admit I am a dreamer, sort of. I guarantee you, I listen, I hear every word, yes, majority of them. But yes, I'm a dreamer. And here are a few of my new dreams. So I can talk lengthy about them, but again, I know that you are hungry. Conmigo?
We have time, we're not at home, don't worry.
Okay. Conmigo, Smart TV. Everybody is watching TV, everybody is browsing internet, but no one does it in something that really combines the things. So there are smart TVs by Samsung, but Samsung is watch TV or browse the internet. But nothing which really combines the thing. We are making a totally new experience of watching TV with internet, with value-added services, with socializing, playing with your games while you see the football and other stuff. And we hope to create a new revolution here. We do learning, which began as almost as a project that we did as no money. How do you say? Volunteering. The issue. Non-profit organization. It is a profitable, it will become very profitable organization. But the idea was, how can we really enhance the education in Israel? Israel lacks in education. We talk nicely about the technology, about high-tech, about the startup nation. You look where Israel is in education, we are going every year down. Every year we're going down. It's amazing phenomenon. Every Israeli which care about this country should feel bad about that and strive to change it. So I and my friends, it's not myself, everything which I've done good is with my friends. Every failure is my own. Yes, it's true. I'm not just saying it from being humble. So we said, okay, what can we do? And we did develop a platform for education on tablets, which is very, very, very different of anything done anywhere in the world, and truly a revolution. And I do believe that this will become part of the change of Israeli education. We are already in a very good stage. We are running now with 4,000 students, great feedback, in a very, very nice startup. I did the smarter. This is something which came from my own needs. I'm very slow typer, so I said, okay, and I always need to, I'm typing, and then I type in, I think I'm typing in English, but when I watch it, the display, it's Hebrew. And you need to fix, and what can I do to change? So I said, okay, let's put the display, small display, into the keyboard, so whenever I type, I can see what I type without the need to move my eyes back and forth. And then said, okay, we have a secondary screen. Let's use it. Let's have on the secondary screen widgets, weather, news, shares, whatever is there. And that looks very, very interesting. We do have a service.net which changes the whole issue of how to get service, and wireless medical, and cubes, and consumer physics, and kiddos, and sensible medical, and a few others. I have about 15 companies I'm involved today. But between M Systems and all these new dreams and ideas and concepts and companies, and I hope that success stories, there was another company which I would love to tell you about, and this is Modu. Modu was a concept of a modular phone. Nice idea, whatever, things around it. Great issues, form factor, user interface, functionality, ecosystem, portfolio, not so bad. But Modu failed. Modu failed, and someone wrote for me, did not succeed to reach its business objectives. Thank you very much, Sigalit. And the company terminated its activity in 2010 while selling the patents to Google. This was very sad for me. How did the failure impact me? So a few things. The first thing, it made me not to be afraid of failures. The fact that I established in the last couple of years about 10 companies, invested in additional 5, is because I failed already. I failed. Okay, if I'll fail again, I'll fail again. It's say, okay, I'm okay. When you fail, it gives you the power, the courage to try, and without fear. Made me more humble. Made me learn from the mistakes I've made. You learn from the mistakes. You don't learn from the success stories. When you succeed, it's very misleading because you believe that what you've done for the success would be good enough for the second time. There are no second-time success. There are no repetitions. In this market, you don't learn from the success, you learn from the failures. Now, clearly, there are many ways to fail, but again, if you succeed, it's great. If you fail, you take it back to your home, you take it back to your nights, you think about it, you analyze it, you ask yourself, what have I done wrong? There are many, many nights that I ask myself, what have I done wrong? Well, I did many things wrong at Modu. I believe that I can eliminate those things going forward. Everybody that can become an inventor. That's my message here. Just stop being afraid of failures. Many of us are just afraid of failures. We're afraid of saying the things in a meeting. We are afraid of throwing an idea. We are afraid of losing money. We should be conscious. But do the differentiate between being conscious, being careful, being caring about money, other people's money, and being under fear of failure. How to encourage innovation? That's my end of the presentation. So I'll use a few words from Chris Hetterly, a guy which was the CTO of Walt Disney. He said several things which are very, very nice. He said innovation, that's obvious, is about solving problems of people. Everybody knows it. But what he says, which is very strong in my eyes, even if they might not know that they have a problem. Don't try to innovate by doing market surveys. It doesn't work out. Look at your problems. Look at other people's problems. Open your mind. There is a problem. If there is a problem, there is a solution. Be the one who brings the solution. He says people get caught up in trying to have innovative processes. I go to talk about innovation with companies, with organizations, and they said, oh, we want you to talk about innovation, but you have to know we do have committees and procedures, forms, whatever. It doesn't work like that. Just be open. Open your door to people to come with the stupid ideas. Never say to them that this is stupidity. Say it's amazing. It's a great idea. You are a wonderful person. Next time, maybe you come next time with something which will fit better, but open the door to people which would come with ideas. And last thing, he says, you have to have leaders who believe and have guts, who support innovative work, who are extremely tolerant of good people making mistakes or failing sometimes. By the way, that relates to clearly high-tech, low-tech, politics as well, and that's an issue by itself in our country. And maybe last advice, this is for me. If you want your dreams come true, don't sleep. It is, Anonymous is the one who wrote it. Some people claim that I'm this anonymous, I don't sleep a lot. If you deal with 15 companies, you don't have time to sleep, I admit. And if I try to summarize it all, so it is very simple to innovate. Just look around you, see what's needed, imagine the solution, no fear, determination, very crucial. Good luck. Thank you very much.